Hi, I'm Hung. This is my wife, Titi, and our son. We live in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, in a densely populated neighborhood far from the city center. Every day, our family walks through these narrow alleyways to get home. Cars can't get in here. The alleys twist and turn like a maze. And in some places, they're only wide enough for one person to pass.
Xíu về mấy này sao ô tô chạy lọt được. Cái đây là chiếc xe máy đi được thôi.
Nhưng mà ô tô cỡ nào vậy?
Ô tô là bự. Vậy nè, con với bạn dây nè.
Gì ghê à?
Ừ.
Many low-income families, including ours, live in neighborhoods like this. The rent is affordable, and for those who want to buy a home, government-supported bank loans make it a little more possible. Scattered throughout the neighborhood are old graves that have been here for decades, long before many of these houses were built. For someone seeing this for the first time, it might feel unusual or even a little unsettling. But for local families like ours, it's simply a normal part of everyday life.
Nhưng mà bây giờ có ai có cái đường đi vô đó, đó là đường nào vậy?
This is the alley that leads to our home. It's a dead-end alley, just a little over 1 meter wide. The graves beside it have been here for a very long time, long before our family moved in. Over the years, we've become so used to this view that it simply feels like part of the neighborhood. Alright, let me show you our home. Right by the entrance is our parking space. It's small, but with a little careful parking, we can fit all 3 of our motorbikes here. Our home is about 25 square meters in total. On the ground floor, we have a small living room. I use one corner as my workspace, and another as our son's study area. Once everything we need is in place, there's not enough room for a sofa. So most of the time, we simply sit on the floor to chat, relax, or spend time together.
Rất bê tông nhưng mà ui cho nó ngã đã. Đó, chắc cú luôn á.
Chọc luôn á hả?
Next to it is our tiny kitchen and dining table. It may feel cramped to some people, but for our family, it's enough. Enough to live, and enough to be together every day. Let's head upstairs. There are 2 small bedrooms, each about 8 square meters.
Cái này nữa. Đó, cái này là sơ đồ cảm nhận mà.
This is our bedroom.
Cái sơ đồ ma mà phải cái này mất rồi.
To be honest, I feel a little embarrassed to show it.
Sơ đồ ma hả?
Not because there's anything to hide, but because it's so simple. There's only a bed, a small wardrobe, and a few everyday essentials. No TV, no dressing table, and no fancy furniture like you might see in many other homes. For our family, having a clean room and a place to rest after a long day is more than enough.
Xe trượt mà tông cái bể bánh luôn rồi không?
Cái đó xe trượt của Hà Mã hả?
Xe trượt của bạn Hà Mã đó. Anh nha, Hà Mã đường đem ra, có đồ chơi mới lạ.
Now, let me show you a few of my little treasures. This is my iron. If I remember correctly, I've had it since I was a university student. So, it's been with me for more than 15 years. I thought about replacing it many times, but somehow, it just keeps working. Maybe it's even tougher than I am. And this is my karaoke sound system. I love singing, even though I'm not very good at it. After work, I sometimes turn on some music and sing a few songs just to relax. Sadly, it doesn't work anymore. But my son absolutely loves it. To him, it's become something even more fun than a karaoke speaker.
Nó cũng rớt rồi đó, còn chơi nó hư đúng không? Bật lên bật xuống thôi.
And here's my oldest companion. This motorbike has been with me for 16 years. It took me to work every day. It took me to meet my wife when we were still dating. And later, it carried all three of us on countless little family trips. I've lost count of how many times it's fallen over. There are scratches almost everywhere. It may look old on the outside, but the engine is still incredibly reliable. Even today, it's still our family's main way of getting around. And finally, this is my wife's favorite little corner. She loves flowers. So I've planted quite a few different kinds for her. Whenever they bloom, I know they'll make her smile. It's a shame that this isn't the flowering season, so there's not much to show you today. Now we're going to buy a few things for lunch. Just a short walk from our house is a busy local market. You can find almost everything you need for a home-cooked meal here. Fresh vegetables, meat, fish, and all kinds of fruit. Many of our neighbors still shop here every day. As for us, we usually stop by a small supermarket nearby. The prices are clearly marked, and there are often special offers that help us save a little money.
Em tìm cái gì ở đây vậy?
Thịt nè.
Thịt.
Còn cái này là gì đây?
Thịt luôn hả con?
My wife and son are picking out some chicken feet.
Nhưng cái này mặt nè. Cái chân nó cái chân nó cũng to nè.
Cái này nữa không?
Đây mình lấy bên đây nè, lấy bên đây nè, cái này nó mới nè, nó cũng có trứng ốp la nữa không?
Nó hình gì à, trứng ốp la.
Hình gì đây, trứng ốp la nè, có đậu hết nữa nè. Bỏ từ từ vô nha để bể nha.
A carton of 12 eggs costs 29,000 dong, which is about 1.1 US dollars.
Nấu nè. Có ếch kìa. Sao nó nặng vậy?
Tomatoes are 40,000 dong per kilogram, or around $1.5. Cucumbers are 35,000 dong per kilogram, about $1.4. My wife is picking up a few leafy vegetables to cook with the chicken feet. In Vietnam, it's common for neighborhoods to have a market or a small grocery store just a few minutes away. So whenever we run out of something, it's an easy walk to buy what we need. About 10 minutes later, we're back home.
What?
Today's lunch is egg pizza. Sounds a little fancy, doesn't it? But it's really just a simple omelet. We're also having chicken feet soup, with some fresh cucumber and tomatoes on the side. Chicken feet might seem unusual in some parts of the world, but for our family, they're both delicious and affordable. Have you ever tried chicken feet soup before? We don't eat out very often, partly because cooking at home costs less. But more importantly, it's healthier. It doesn't take long, and lunch is ready. Today's lunch for our family costs about $2.
Rồi, ngon luôn. Nước tương không Kiệt?
Simple food, but enough for our family to enjoy a meal together. Come and join our family for lunch.
Ăn nước tương còn chan riêng nha. Ngon nhé.
My wife and I have been married for 7 years. We bought this house about 6 years ago. Back then, it cost around $77,000. Our savings were only enough to cover about $35,000 for the down payment. The rest had to be borrowed from the bank on a long-term loan with an interest rate of around 11% per year. At that time, before we had our son, our total monthly income as a couple was about $950. We were still able to manage the monthly repayments. But after our son was born, my wife decided to quit her job to take care of him. From that moment, things started to get more difficult. I work as an office employee. My current salary has just increased from $520 to $550 per month. With that income, supporting a family of 3 and paying off the loan every month can sometimes feel quite stressful. Later, when our son got a bit older, my wife went back to work. But they were mostly short-term jobs, so her income was not stable. Still, we keep trying. As long as we can pay the loan on time, every month, and our family stays healthy, we feel a lot more at peace. As the man of the family, I've always wanted to give my wife and son a better life. But with only an office job, that hasn't been easy. About 6 months ago, I started learning about YouTube. Back then, I didn't know how to film. I didn't know how to edit videos either. So after work, I started learning little by little. How to hold the camera. How to edit my very first videos. There were nights when I stayed up until 2 or 3 in the morning editing. Then I'd wake up the next morning and go to work as usual. I really gave it my best. But things didn't turn out the way I had hoped. Many of my videos only got a few dozen or a few hundred views. Every time I opened YouTube Studio, I hoped the numbers would be different, but they almost never were. There were moments when I wondered, maybe I'm just not good at this. Maybe I should stop. But my wife said something I'll never forget. If we stop today, we'll never know what could have happened. But if we keep going, there's still a chance. And then, I started asking myself, why am I trying so hard to be like everyone else? When the most unique thing I have is my own family. A very ordinary life. But a real one. That's why I decided to start again. By simply sharing our everyday life. I don't know whether YouTube will ever change our lives. But I do know one thing. If I never have the courage to begin, nothing will ever change. I hope that one day, when my son grows up, he'll watch these videos again, and he'll know that his dad truly gave it everything he had. If you've stayed with us until the end of this video, thank you. Thank you for spending a small part of your day with our family. I'll see you again in another ordinary day of our family's life here in Vietnam.